Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about lighting. When I first got started with my videos, I was using this guy. I bought this thing at Walmart for like $10, $15. I was also using this little flashlight. I would turn it on and I'd point it directly behind me. And so starting there, I feel like I've learned so much. And I went from this to this. So I just want to share some of the ways that I have gotten better at lighting, and maybe it will teach you something. Something that I really wanted to say is I'm not going to tell you don't do this, don't do that. There are really no don'ts in the lighting world. My tip for you would be don't limit your creativity. There it is. I just gave you a don't. But seriously, have fun with your lighting. I'm going to tell you what works for me, but for you, it might be different, and that's okay. You get to decide what you do and you get to create your own videos. You get to do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. I am, however, going to tell you what I do, and I'm going to start doing that right now. So here are some of the things that I advise. I advise you to have a good key light. I have a key light. It's right here. The key light is the thing that lights up your face. I like to put my lights at a 45-degree angle from my face, directly from the camera and then directly to my left. If I go 45 degrees, there's my pole. Okay, so basically I want it to be on the side of my face, and I actually put it at an angle facing down so that it gets a little bit of my hair as well. This good key light is going to make your video look that much better. When I first started and I was using this, I used it not right in front of my face like many people do, but I used it right here on the side of my face, and it made a huge difference. Even just this little light from Walmart. So if that's all you have, use it. My second light is being used at another 45-degree angle. It's right there. This light is going to help create this 3D effect on my face. It actually gives my face form. When I put my hand up right here, you can see it on my cheeks and on my neck. I call this light, for me, I call it like a backlight / rim light, okay? If you put it directly next to you, it's called a fill light, but I like to create this sort of rim behind me. That's why it's at a 45-degree angle behind me. So I'm using just two lights and it's creating this effect. There are no backlights being used. A backlight is technically a light that's behind you and it's creating a form around you. I'm not using one of those right now. What I am using behind me is a blue LED strip. So it's creating this kind of effect that really brings me to the forefront of my screen and creates kind of a nice, smooth background. Now I'm going to go through a couple more tips that I think might help you, and they've really helped me create the kind of scene that I want to create. First tip. Try to put yourself as far away from your background as possible. If you're doing this, you can put a very shallow depth of field. I'm using a 1.8 50 millimeter, and that creates this kind of creamy, smooth background. Basically, it allows you to separate yourself from your background. That's something that's really important in video so that you can actually be kind of in front while the background is clearly behind you. If I haven't already mentioned this, these two lights are on the lowest settings possible. That's because of this thing called light spread. Basically, your lights spread out, and I wanted my background to still be blue. So I put my light as close as possible. It's right here. And so that allows me to keep my background blue at a shallow depth of field. Another tip that I have is to start with a dark room. My room isn't perfectly dark. There's actually a window right here, but I've closed the window to limit the amount of light coming in. Basically, what I'm saying is if you want to create this kind of effect, you should limit the amount of light that's coming in. Try to focus on the lights that you have so that you can fully control the environment. Another tip is I limit the lights that are actually directly on the camera. You can create some cool effects with this, but it can also create a glare. I don't really want to create a glare most of the time. I'd like for it to be smooth and clear so you can see my face and there's nothing distracting in my background. I do have a light right down here that's actually kind of this warm toned light. It's filling up my bookshelf and I like it. But if I move a little bit, you can actually see the spread. I don't move too much so that the light doesn't overexpose my shot. That's just something I'm messing around with, having some features back there. And that's okay because I plan on changing my lighting setup constantly. I think it's something that we can always get better at. And I'm going to continue sharing my tips with you guys. If you have any questions or you have a tip for how to do your lighting better, please post a comment below. I have linked my lights in the description of this video. You don't have to go get those lights. This is not an ad. But if you want to get the same sort of lighting setup that I have, go for it. I think they're great and I I will continue to update you with how I use them and if I feel like there's something better out there. If you want to connect, feel free to check out my Instagram for more videos like this and videos related to photography and videography. My handle is @BladeJPhoto. Thank you so much again for stopping by. I'll see you next time.